Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another Self-Working Saturday. So a little bit of a different video today. I'm going to teach you 5 self-working card forces and 5 tricks you can do with these forces. Alright, so this first one is called the KAPS force by Fred KAPS. Now I'll teach you his original and then I'll teach you some subtleties and some touches that I've added to it, alright? So the force card starts out on the bottom of the deck. So you can keep it there with a slip shuffle to start out with like this. Pull cards off the bottom like this, keep that bottom card with your fingers like that and shuffle off. Or if you want to, you can have them shuffle the deck, start out with it on top in this case, and have them start dealing cards face down on the table like this, and then you tell them at some point to stop and shuffle the deck, and keep dealing cards in bunches if they want to like this, and do that until there's no cards left. Either way, that keeps the force card on the bottom of the deck. So now what you do is you say, look, I want a challenge, so do me a favor, cut off a good portion of the deck and leave me just a few cards, right? So they do that, they cut off maybe that many there, and you say, look, how many cards would you say are left? So you ask them to pick up the pile and count them face down into a pile, so they do that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So after some, time misdirection and some byplay, we come back to this packet and the force card is on top, the card they apparently cut to or arrived at by chance, right? So that's the original. So here is some subtleties, and here's a trick that I came up with using this force. So what you want to do is have them shuffle the deck and then cut it, and what you do is you take the deck back and say, look, I'm going to take out a couple cards that we'll use for later. So what you do is with the faces toward yourself and making sure they can't see the bottom card, what you do is you take out any spade and any 3 that represents the 3 of spades, alright? So just go through and take out a 3 and then any spade. So we have a 3 and a spade on the table like this that'll represent the 3 of spades for later. But make sure that they don't see these cards or the 3 spades on the bottom, alright? So what you do now is you put the deck face down on the table and then ask them to do that cutoff procedure. Alright, so they cut off a good chunk of cards, and you ask them to count how many cards are left, so they do that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cards. So now you say, look, if that's 14 cards, then this must be 36 cards. And the math here is very, very simple. All you have to do is subtract this number from 50. Given the fact that you have 2 cards here, it makes the math very, very simple. So now you say, there's no way I could have known beforehand that you cut off exactly 36 cards. So now you say, look, take these 36 cards and just give them a good shuffle. So they do that, they give them a good shuffle and ask them to cut off some cards and put them on there like this and shuffle some more and then put them on there. Now this positions that 3 of spades at number 37 in the deck. So what you can do is square up and say, look, you shuffle the deck, there was no way that I could have known that you would cut off 36 cards, and you pretend like you drop a card, right, and just close up and then do this. So now that 3 of spades is at exactly 36 cards down in the deck. So what you can do is you say, look, what if I knew that you would cut off exactly 36 cards? What if I knew what card would be at number 36 even after you shuffle the deck? You say, remember I took out a couple of cards earlier. These cards represent the future. See, we have a 3 and a spade. The 3 of spades. Do me a favor, count down 36 cards in the deck. Alright, so they do, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 cards down is that 3 of spades. Alright, so this next one is called the Discrepancy Deal Force by Larry Jennings. Here's how it goes. So the force card will be on the bottom of the deck. Alright, so what you do is you start dealing cards face up on the table like this, one at a time. And once you get past the first card, you can just start going like this, dealing in bunches. And you have the spectator say stop anywhere, so they stop maybe right here. Now what you do is you turn this pile face down, and after some time misdirection and some byplay, the top card will be the force card. Now this is actually a pretty good force, and I've fooled a lot of people with it, but I think we can take it a step further, right? So here's what I've done to it. We're going to combine it with another force called the spell count principle. And here's what you do. You start out with the force card, fourth from the bottom of the deck, in this case, the 7 of diamonds. So in this case, for some more fairness, you can have them do the dealing. So give them the deck face up and ask them to deal cards face up to a pile one by one, and then ask them to stop at any time. So once they do that, you can have them shuffle the deck and then deal some more and stop whenever they want to, right? So they stop maybe right here and put the deck aside. So now you ask them to turn the pile face down like this and say, look, now we need an indicator card. So ask them to pick up this rest of the cards and give them a good shuffle. And then when they're done, turn the bottom card face up like this and put the rest on top. So what we have here is a 5 that's face up in the middle, and that 7 of diamonds is 4 away. The 1, 2, 3, 4 is the 7 of diamonds. So here's how the spell count principle works. In this particular case, a 5 is perfect. All we got to do is go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we arrive at the force card. So in a nutshell, here's how the spell count principle works. So in the deck, you only have values that either spell with 3, 4, or 5 letters. So you can always spell to it, or you can always count to it. In this case, it's a 5, so we start out on the card itself. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's a queen, we know that it spells with 5 letters, so it's the same thing, Q-U-E-E-N. If it's a 4, and 4's my favorite, all you gotta do is take this away and start out with this card. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's a 3, or a card that spells with 3 letters, like an ace or a 10, you just start out, you go 1, 2, 3, and then that'll be the force card. Same thing if it's an ace, you just spell the word ace, that's A-C-E, and then that's the force card. Right, so you see how this is starting to work, right? It's very intuitive. Same thing with a king, you just spell the word king, so that's K-I-N-G, and you arrive at the force card every time. Once you play around with it, you get used to it, and it's very, very easy. So here's a nice trick you can do. Say our force card is the 7 of diamonds, and previously you have a prediction card like the 7 of diamonds from a different deck in a pocket ready to go for a prediction. So that goes there in your pocket and you're ready to go. So you get the deck to the spectator and have them do that deal shuffle procedure, right? So they deal some cards, you ask them to stop whenever they want to, and they will never remember that the 7 of diamonds was 4th, right? So just have them stop anywhere and then shuffle the deck, all right? Deal some more and stop whenever they want to. So they stop there and have them turn these face down. You say, look, now we need an indicator card. So you have them shuffle these, and you say, when you're done, turn the bottom card face up. So they do that, boom. So we have an ace, put their rest on top. Now look how fair that looks. You never touch the deck, and they shuffled, they dealt, they stopped whenever they wanted to. So the impossibility of this is very high because it's totally hands off and they did everything right. So now you spread the deck, and here we have an ace, so we know exactly what to do. We'll take these away, spell the word ace, A-C-E, take these away, and our force card is right there, the 7 of diamonds. Turn that over, and then say, look, in my pocket the whole time I've had 1 card, and it matches your card, the 7 of diamonds. Alright, so this next one is called the 21 force, and the creator is actually unknown, but in any case, this is how it goes. So the force card starts out at number 21 in the deck. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. The 4 of clubs, we'll leave it face up so we can follow along. So what you do is you have them, you have the spectator cut off some cards, maybe less than half the deck is what you say, right? So they do that. And what you have them do is count this packet. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. But you never know this. You actually turn your head as they're counting. And you say, count silent so I can't know the number. So now you pick up the deck and you say, I'm going to try to estimate maybe how many cards you have there. So what you do here is just deal 20 cards. It's 20 every time, all right? So just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And what you want to do is make it seem like you're really trying to estimate and kind of slow it down once you reach the end of the 20 cards, right? So you say, look, I think I might be close. What was the number that you cut off? And they say 18. So here's what you do. From this, it's already a set. What you do is you count their number, and it works every time. So it was 18. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's just math that works every time. So that's pretty good, especially if you have a prediction of the 4 of clubs somewhere. But here's how you can make it even seem more impossible. We can take it a step further like this. So in this case, we can get our force card just on top of the deck, and we'll just use the 7 of diamonds again. And you want to have your prediction card somewhere like in a pocket or in the card box or somewhere where it's visibly known somewhere before the trick happens, right? So maybe you take the cards out like this and they see that there's a red card there, and then you just put that aside and just don't mention it, right? Just don't make any note of it. Just put it down under the card box or something. So our other 7 is on the top, and you're going to start a 2-trick set, and this is going to blend in perfectly, all right? So what you're going to do first is a little trick I call impossible, and it uses the free cut principle, all right? So what you do is you count off 7 cards into 3 piles like this, just casually like this. So go 3, 2, 2, that's 7. 3, 2, 2, just making piles of random cards at this point, right? You're not really counting, you're not really saying anything. You just say, look, we need some cards here, so that's 3, 2, 2, but don't count out loud. So put the deck aside. Now you ask them to pick up any pile they want to, and it doesn't matter which one they pick up. They can pick up this one, and you have them give it a good shuffle like this, and you ask them to cut anywhere into it like this. Remember their cards, so they do that. It's the Queen of Diamonds, right? Now you ask them to put their cutoff pile on top of any other pile like this, so maybe that one right there. Shuffle the rest in their hand, pick up the other pile, and then shuffle those as well and put them on top. So what this does is puts their card at number 14 in the packet. So we want it at 10, so here's what we do. So after they're done, you pick it up and you say, look, you just took the deck and shuffled it, and you cut it into 3 piles, and now you're just thinking of one. There's no way that I could have known beforehand which card that would be or where it would be. Which is kind of true, but here's what happens. So what you do is you pick up the pile, and as you're talking, you just run 4 cards to the bottom with an overhand shuffle. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just do an Ozy cut like this. Just as you're talking, just do it casually. But that would be impossible. There's no way for me to know what your card is or where your card is. And nothing has happened besides the fact that you transferred their card to number 10. You see it, right? That would be impossible, but let's use that word impossible like this. Focus on your card. You say, look, focus on the word impossible like this. Watch, that's IMPOSSIBLE. That spells impossible. What was your card? They say Queen of Diamonds. Boom. Now check this out. At this point, they're reacting. You can do whatever you want to do because, look, this is 21 cards, and the 7 of diamonds is somewhere in this packet. So all you gotta do is look through the cards and put that 7 of diamonds on the bottom of this packet like this. And now you're ready to go. You put these on top of the deck, and you're ready for your next trick. I mean, they feel like they shuffled the deck, they did everything, and then the fact that you're going to blow their minds again with this is just remarkable because, I mean, you barely did anything, right? So you just do that force. You ask them to pick up some cards. Maybe this many right here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? So do the procedure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So now the count to number 13. Their number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 7 of diamonds every time. You remember at the very beginning, I took the deck out and there was a card, a red card. It's been sitting here the whole time. And this is really crazy. I don't understand how this happened, but look, it's also the 7 of diamonds. All right, so here's your really, really nice force that is called the Rendezvous force by Di Vernon. I haven't done anything to it. I've just left it how Di Vernon does it. And this is what you do. You have your you have a card on the bottom of the deck, and you want to have the mate to it 27 from the face. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. The mate to the bottom card, right? So this is a self-working version of an Alex Elmsley principle that uses the Pharaoh Shuffle, which in my opinion, the Pharaoh Shuffle is still kind of self-working for me at least. Some people disagree, but hey, that's your own call. Elmsley's principle is called the Penelope Principle, which can be found in his books, The Complete Works of Alex Elmsley. So what you do is this, you dribble the cards on the table like this, slowly, and then you ask the spectator to stop you at any time, so they do that. They say stop right there maybe, and you ask them to pick up the packet and count how many cards there are by dealing face down. So they do that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, which puts that other queen on top of this pile now. So now what you do is you pick up the rest of the deck and you start a Klondike shuffle, which is just milking the top and bottom cards off at the same time like this, with your fingers on the bottom, thumb on top, like that at the same time, and throwing them on the table. So you just do that until all the cards are gone. Your excuse for it is, don't give it an excuse. Just say, look, I'm going to mix the deck up like this, just so the cards are nice and shuffled up. So just do that, or if you want to, you can have them say stop after there's about, equal cards to their packet. So they can say stop anytime, maybe right here, right? So now, amazingly, because of math, the other queen will be at the exact number of cards they cut off. So in this case, 16. We count 16 cards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. The other queen. So, the presentation is, you say, look, you could have stopped anywhere at any number, and what card did you end up on? And it's the queen. And you say, look, there's only one card in the entire deck that matches that red queen. It's the other red queen, the queen of diamonds. So look, you just count out 16 cards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. A perfect match every time. Alright, so this next one is called Bluff Oracle by Simon Aronson, and before I get into it, I want to give you some origin behind this principle. So Carl Fulvis created a principle called the Oracle principle, and this is what it looks like. So the first card is at 16 in the deck, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, the Jack of Diamonds. Don't ask me why it's 16, that's just how it works because of math. So what you do is you have the spectator cut off about half the deck and give it to you. So they do that, maybe about that many right there. Now what you do here is a reverse pharaoh, and what that is, you just upjog every other card. Start out with the first card, then every other card like this. Just keep upjogging every other card like this. So in other words, every odd card in the packet, right? Until you get to the very end like this. Just keep upjogging every other card. And then once you get to the end, you just strip those upjog cards out and put them back on top of the deck. Like that, and keep doing that until there's only one card left, and amazingly it'll always be that first card that was at 16, the Jack of Diamonds. So keep doing that, putting them back on top of the deck like this. And I don't know how this works, but all I know it does work, and that's all I need to know. So it's there, the Jack of Diamonds. So Simon Aronson discovered that you don't have to do this with the card being at 16. The card can be on top of the deck. So in this case, it'll be our 7 of Diamonds, our force card, right? So this can be your prediction, this can be anywhere, and this is what you do. So you start dealing the cards like this on the table, deal one card, and then do this like in bunches, and you ask them to say stop anywhere. So maybe they say stop right here. Now at this point, the 7 of Diamonds will be the bottom card, which is where it needs to be. So now you start that reverse pharaoh, and it doesn't matter if you start on the first card or the second card, because you always force the bottom card, right? So you can start out like this with the second card, and keep upjogging every other card like this until you get to the very end. Now when you get to the end, all you have to do is make sure you remember where the bottom card goes, and wherever it goes, just take out the cards that where it isn't, right? So in this case, it'll be the upjog cards. If it would have been here, you just would have taken out the back cards, right? So just make sure you keep an eye on where that bottom card goes and take out the other cards. Because nobody knows what you're doing and that you could have done anything, right? So at this point, you say, look, why don't you give that a try? And so what you do here is you can do the beginner version. All that is dealing cards into piles like this. It's the same thing, it's just a little bit easier. And all you're doing here is watching out where that bottom card goes, that first card, which is right here. So now, since you were eliminating cards, it makes sense for an Echovoke. So anything that happens makes sense. So you say, look, touch any pile. If they touch this one, you put that pile there. If they touch this one, you put that pile there. Any way makes sense. Just don't say choose or pick, just say touch. So you say, look, you could have said stop anywhere. You could have chosen any pile. We got rid of cards. We did everything. We shuffled, but we got down to one card, the 7 of Diamonds, and boom, that's my prediction, 7 of Diamonds. So here's a really cool thing you can do with the actual oracle that Roberto Giobbi calls a moracle. It's a production of a 4 of a kind like the aces and a selection, or what we can do is produce a royal flush like this. So what you want to do is set the cards in 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's always 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. For this royal flush, handling the 10 being the top card, and then on down with the royal flush in numerical order. So what we can do here is get the deck a false shuffle, and if you want to learn some false shuffles and false cuts, you can refer to the video down below in the description. In any case, you say, look, push them in all the way, and then make sure they are really shuffled, and then also cut off maybe about half the cards right there. You say, look, would you consider yourself a lucky person? And whatever they say, you say, look, the most lucky card in the deck is the ace of spades. The deck was shuffled, you cut the deck. Let's see if we can find the ace of spades. We don't need all these cards, we just need one card, right? So now you just start the reverse fairy procedure with the number 1, and then every other card, right? So you just do this. Say, look, we don't need all the cards, but maybe there's a chance that the ace of spades is in these cards somewhere. So we'll just eliminate some cards like this and put the rest right here. Now, every time you strip them out at this point, you put them on the table. So you just keep doing that, reverse pharaoh, until you get down to the last card like this, and strip them out. It'll always be the above cards that you strip out like this, and then keep going until there's 1 card left like this. Now, if there's 2 cards left, you just put down the top card like this. So at the very end, there will be 1 card, and let's see if you were a lucky person or not. It is the ace of spades. Congratulations. So now you say, maybe you're a little bit more lucky than you thought. I mean, you shuffled the deck, you cut the deck, but look, all the cards we have a king, a queen, there's the jack, and there's a 10, a complete royal flush in spades. Alright, so I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you learned something new. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.